You're listening to ABC News. Virginia Tech fined by the government over its response to the 2007 on-campus shooting. ABC's Aaron Katersky reports Virginia Tech waited 2 hours after Sung-Hee Cho shot 2 students in a dorm before it alerted the school community. The Department of Education said that was too long, and it fined the university the maximum $55,000 for violating a federal law that requires timely reporting of campus crime. The gunman killed 30 others just after the notification went out. Virginia Tech plans to appeal the fine, saying administrators acted appropriately based on the information available at the time. New Jersey will host the 2014 Super Bowl, and airline passengers will benefit. Newark Liberty International Airport will get upgrades to help accommodate visitors. This will include a new passenger terminal. The Britney Enrique tour isn't dead, at least not yet. ABC's Jason Nathanson explains.
Baby, I like it! Actually, he doesn't seem to like it. Britney Spears announced Tuesday on Good Morning America.
We're going on tour with Enrique Iglesias in June.
Then just hours later, Billboard.biz reported he pulled out. No reason given. Now Billboard says it actually still could happen, but the problem is perception and money. Iglesias wants to make sure it's not viewed as a Britney tour with him tagging along, that he's a co-headliner and wants a bigger piece of the profit. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
And on Wall Street, the Dow rose 81 points today. I'm Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
Oh, I wish we could do BBC like that, but we can't. Let us turn our attentions to the conference that happened in London.
It's probably going to come out when it's hungry. They'll trap it, but for the moment they've closed the zoo house.
You wouldn't want to be the guy going in to just check if the snake's hungry, would you? Bill, thank you very much indeed. Bill Nicholson of USA Today. Snakes on the loose, snakes on a plane. I hope that snake replies by the end of the programme. I'm going to keep tweeting it until it does.
On digital and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. It's 2 o'clock with the news. Here's Suzanne Chesley.
President Obama says he hasn't ruled out supplying American weapons to opposition fighters in Libya. He's been speaking after an international conference in London that looked at the current military action. The US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was there.
There could be legitimate transfer of arms if a country were to choose to do that. We have not made that decision at this time.
The UK government says it has no immediate plans to supply weapons. Our World Affairs editor John Simpson is in Tripoli.
They're not going to give them tanks. They're certainly not going to give them aircraft. What we're talking about is shoulder-launched missiles, stuff like that, which will probably even up the balance between the two sides. But I don't think it's going to be enough to enable them to charge up the road all those hundreds of kilometres and come here to Tripoli.
An investigation's begun after a fake bomb managed to travel undetected from Britain to Turkey on a cargo plane. The parcel contained wires, a timer and a detonator and was transported by UPS to Istanbul. The Department for Transport has launched an inquiry. Our reporter Ben Ando is following the story.
Walt, we understand that this package was taken on a cargo jet. 60% of air freight is actually carried on passenger planes, and UPS itself is what's known as a known consignor, which means it's a company that has passed various stringent tests and is allowed to do its own security screening.
A 98-year-old man is expected in court later, charged over the attempted murder of a policewoman. The officer suffered a serious arm injury in Scone in Perthshire and had to spend the night in hospital. A report on policing in England and Wales has found that around 2/3 of police staff work on the front line. That means they have everyday contact with the public and directly intervene to keep people safe and enforce the law. The Chief Inspector of Constabulary, Sir Dennis O'Connor, says the government's plans to cut 20% from police budgets without affecting the front line are a very big challenge.
This is actually quite a delicate piece of surgery, dealing with sensitive issues that can't be done in a rush or carelessly. And I hope if everybody understands that, then when they make the choices or say whatever they want about it, they will at least be very well informed.
A cross-party group of MPs will hear evidence later from veterans and charities about whether the government and nation is meeting its side of the military covenant. It's not enshrined in law, but sets out what members of the armed forces and their families should expect in return for the sacrifices they make. Theatres, orchestras and dance companies funded by the Arts Council England will find out today if they'll lose their money. The council's budget is being cut by £100 million over the next 4 years as part of the spending cuts. As many as 600 organisations could lose out. Dame Liz Forgan is the chairman.
We will give everybody a year of funding before their funding, whatever happens to it, happens. So we've given everyone a year to think about their future in the light of what is going to happen to their budgets. We can do no more than that, and I think that is actually a bigger, longer notice than people have been having from the Arts Council in recent years.
5 Live News, the sport comes from Paul Hawkins.
England's first ever match against Ghana ended in a 1-1 draw at Wembley. Andy Carroll scoring his first international goal, with Asmo Jan equalising for the visitors in stoppage time. Northern Ireland and Slovenia finished goalless in their Euro 2012 qualifier, but a 1-1 draw between Serbia and Estonia keeps Northern Ireland's qualification hopes alive. They remain 5th in Group C, a point behind Estonia. Brighton have moved closer to the League One title after a 1-0 win at Dagenham and Redbridge, who themselves are just 1 point off the relegation zone. Fellow strugglers Sheffield Wednesday lost 3-1 to Brentford at Hillsborough. In League Two, Shrewsbury moved into an automatic promotion spot with a 3-1 win at Rotherham. Sri Lanka are through to their third World Cup final. The 1996 champions beating New Zealand by 5 wickets in Colombo. They'll face either India or Pakistan in Meeta Mohali later today. Full coverage, of course, over on 5 Live Sports Extra from 9:45. And Cricket Australia have confirmed that Michael Clarke is their new Test and one-day captain, replacing Ricky Ponting, who stepped down yesterday. Cameron White will captain the 2020 team.
This is 5 Live on AM and FM around the UK, on digital and online. I'm Giles Dilnot. We're up all night. 40 countries gathered in London to discuss Libya, including Arab states, but no Russia. Why's the bear keen to keep its paws clean? You get snakes in the grass, snakes on a plane, but how about snakes loose in a zoo? And will this cobra ever tweet me back? And radio's answer to not using your credit card or banker's draft, it's cash. Peters, that is, with what's laughably known round here as the US TV review. All of that coming up in the next hour after the latest from ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Brad Wheelis. In the skies over Florida, 2 planes get too close to one another and an air traffic controller is blamed.
A private plane flying at 11,000 feet near Orlando Sunday night was not responding to radio calls. So an air traffic control supervisor asked a nearby Southwest jet to take a look to make sure everything was all right. The problem, that meant the planes got way too close enough for the Southwest pilots to see 2 people in the cockpit of the small plane. The FAA's chief says this compromised the safety of everyone involved. An investigation is underway. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
The Securities and Exchange Commission charging an FDA chemist with insider trading. Cheng Lang allegedly made more than $3.5 million by trading stocks of companies that were about to get approval or denial for drugs they were planning to bring to market. President Obama, in an interview with ABC's Diane Sawyer, once again defends his decision on Libya.
I think on Libya, we've gotten it right. That doesn't make it easy. It just means that we made the right decision for that moment.
The president did not say whether the U.S. would provide arms to opposition rebels, but says all options are on the table. Athletes now taking the stand in the Barry Bonds perjury trial. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
Colorado Rockies first baseman Jason Giambi told the jury Bonds' personal trainer first sent him steroids at the end of 2002. Giambi says he first met the trainer while on a U.S. All-Star team traveling around Japan. Giambi did not give any direct testimony about Bonds, but prosecutors hope to use his testimony to show that Bonds' personal trainer was a well-known steroids dealer and that Bonds should have known what he was taking.
Senate Democrats overheard by reporters before a conference call talking about strategy in the budget talks. Senator Charles Schumer said he always uses the word extreme when referring to Republicans. You're listening to ABC News. Virginia Tech fined by the government over its response to the 2007 on-campus shooting. ABC's Aaron Katersky reports. Virginia Tech waited 2 hours after Sung-Hee Cho shot 2 students in a dorm before it alerted the school community. The Department of Education said that was too long, and it fined the university the maximum $55,000 for violating a federal law that requires timely reporting of campus crime. The gunman killed 30 others just after the notification went out. Virginia Tech plans to appeal the fine, saying administrators acted appropriately based on the information available at the time. New Jersey will host the 2014 Super Bowl, and airline passengers will benefit. Newark Liberty International Airport will get upgrades to help accommodate visitors. This will include a new passenger terminal. The Brittany Enrique tour isn't dead, at least not yet. ABC's Jason Nathanson explains.
Actually, he doesn't seem to like it. Britney Spears announced Tuesday on Good Morning America.
We're going on tour with Enrique Iglesias in June.
Then just hours later, Billboard.biz reported he pulled out. No reason given. Now Billboard says it actually still could happen, but the problem is perception and money. Iglesias wants to make sure it's not viewed as a Britney tour with him tagging along, that he's a co-headliner and wants a bigger piece of the profit. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
And on Wall Street, the Dow rose 81 points today. I'm Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
Oh, I wish we could do BBC like that, but we can't. Let us turn our attentions to the conference that happened in London today. Colonel Gaddafi's forces, who you've been hearing on the programme, intensified their attacks on rebels in Libya. One of the places where...